Hi, everybody, and welcome back. I don't ever say hi to anybody. That was stupid. But this is On Thin Ice. It's a podcast where Jacob and I take turns hosting every week. And the whole premise of this show is to ask an icebreaker question. That's kind of the topic, the broad topic for the episode that will hopefully spark more questions and get conversations going.
No,
I want to ask first because oh shit, you already got some. Go ahead. Go
no,
ahead, interrupt me.
I was gonna say hopefully it never gives any answers. It just continues giving us more questions.
Yeah. Well, that'd be good though, because then we get more episodes, and then we just stretch out the content.
Yeah, that's true.
But I wanted to ask you, have you used any of these icebreakers yet, like out in the world, trying to
I've
break
used
tension?
I've used like a bunch of these just in past conversations. Yes,
Okay.
but like anybody that knows me, or if anybody is trying to get to know me, say it's like a dating app kind of thing or whatever, and somebody matches with me, 9 times out of 10, if you've swiped on me on a dating app, you already know I'm gonna ask some unhinged shit. And if you already know me and I'm trying to break the tension with like maybe they're an introvert kind of person and they're like a somebody you kind of have to break the ice with each time, they already know that I'm gonna say some crazy shit. And I don't think we have any normal icebreaker questions on here that normal people would probably ask. I mean, I guess
I
there
mean,
probably are some, but
yeah, towards the
this
top. When we
it's
started, it was like, okay, and then it just became like, what unfathomable weird shit can we niche into?
yeah. I mean, a lot of people ask, "What do you think of tattoos?" Though, and then there's a lot of people that are like, "What's your favorite kind of book?" Or if you were going to write an autobiography, like those are all normal things I think to ask people. But I think once
Yeah.
you start getting into like I don't know. I'm trying to think of because for me they're all normal. I don't give a fuck. I wish some people would ask me some of these questions like IRL, trying to start a conversation. But
Yeah, that's what's weird is
I don't
I'll
know.
walk into a new group that I've never talked to, or like it's just a group where there's more than maybe even just two of us, me and one other person, and it's super quiet and awkward. And I think about these questions and I'm like, man, if they asked me, I would love to engage, but this doesn't feel right to ask other people.
So if you were a fly on the wall in some point in history, what would you want to be? Or
Yeah.
where would you want to be? Oh, dude, I'd love to see the live action Oppenheimer, like for sure.
Well, I just end up asking stupid questions that are actually just jokes and not questions. Like I was um I was at a funeral over the weekend and we were just like having a good time the night before trying to like ease things and I reminded my buddy of a stupid shit question I asked her and everyone else at the table was pretty giddy about it. I was like, "Do you remember when I asked you like we were in the Wendy's parking lot and I asked you like, "Hey, how do you feel about wheelchair ramps?" And that was it. It doesn't need to be an actual question. Sometimes you can just say things.
Yeah, that would literally have me wheezing if somebody just randomly asked that for no reason whatsoever. I'd love it. I'd love it.
Well, dude, we normally ask each other how we've been. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but what do you have going on?
Um, Not much really. I've been trying to play some WoW because the new expansion's out, and I've just been busy. I've got a ton of my new setup. Like,
Oh yeah, you finally got the PlayStations on the shelves.
got the PlayStations up. I got the room mostly clean. There's not like a giant pile of shit over in the corner anymore.
I
Um,
still have that.
I know it's kind of dark, but and there is still stuff. I've got my whole like music set up for with my microphones and shit like that. My audio interface and stuff. That is in a pile right here. I just haven't had any place to put it yet. I think I might just set it up on the other side of this desk because this desk is fucking way longer than my old one. So I actually have enough room for another monitor and shit if I wanted to.
Dude,
Um,
posting about your desk or having a picture of the desk when you finally get your big boy desk,
yeah,
it always feels really good, especially when you go back and you see what you had compared to what you have now. Because
it's
I
so
took a
good.
picture when I was building this desk I have now, and I posted it and I said some stupid shit like a proper castle for the king or whatever, and Like coming from the old desk I had, which was a piece of shit, and a wooden chair that didn't roll, it was great.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. That's my old desk right there.
Look at that thing.
It's got a bunch of blankets on it and tapestries and shit. I gotta get those off, but we have a chase coming in. It's gonna be right underneath Black Phillip. So my girlfriend and I we just like sit in here and watch movies on the big screen with the fucking sound bar and shit. We're gonna put the subwoofer behind the chase or underneath the chase or something like that, so the bass is right underneath us. It's gonna be pretty
Nice.
sick. Big ass black
I like
chase
that.
going right there, right underneath Black Phillip, so we can watch movies on this big ass screen right here in front of me. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I love that for you.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. But other than that, just been pissing Skylar off because he keeps trying to get me to get on WoW. But I'm like, dude, I'm trying. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I just ain't got no fucking time. And then Toby and Derek keep reminding me that the fucking top 5 albums of the year video that we're inevitably going to do is just a couple months away. And I haven't really listened to shit from 2024 yet. Other than like 3 albums I've listened to. And I need 5.
You,
So
you
I gotta
start
listen to more than
listening.
5, you know? But unfortunately, there just has not been a lot of full-length albums that I cared to listen to. But Left to Suffer's new album has been fucking sick. Oceano just put out a cool-ass album. A couple bands that I've been like on my radar or whatever put out a couple singles and shit, so that's cool. Hopefully they've got some albums coming out, but usually this is the time that I'm starting to like I've already listened to several albums already. And I'm like, okay, I know what these are. Some of them are okay, some of them are good. Maybe 1 or 2 of them have potential to hit my top 5. But right now, dude, I don't got nothing. I got nothing because I have been slacking on
You gotta
listening to music.
just you gotta just start going for runs and listening to whatever's new. Just so you're doing an activity, but
Yeah.
also listening to music.
Well, most of the time, what I do, we've been doing this since 2021. So most of what I've been most of the time, I'll take albums that I know that I like the artist of at least, because if it's an artist I never listened to, I might give it a shot, just on the off chance it's gonna make it. But if it's an artist I don't really like, or I've only listened to a couple of their songs, they're okay. Probably not gonna make my top 5. So I'll take all the artists that I feel have potential to make my top 5 and put the albums in like a playlist, a long ass playlist of 2024, 2023, 2022, whatever. And I will just listen to them straight through. And I'll do that when I'm doing whatever. Last year was easy because one, there was a bunch of like not really that great music out. So narrowing it down to 5 albums was hard, but it wasn't hard because there was so much to choose from. It was hard because I was struggling trying to think of 5 albums that I actually enjoyed all the way through, which is
Yeah.
depressing. Because last year was just a shit year for metal in general. But anyway, then last year as well, during the time I was delivering for this period of time, I was delivering for Amazon. So like that's all I did was listen to music. I was listening to music the whole fucking day, like all day long, 12 hours sometimes. Not basically from 9 to 12 hours. I was doing nothing but listening to music. So it was easy for me to like just sift through shit all the time. But now I'm so goddamn busy doing fucking everything that it's hard. It's hard to think about like listen, just like sitting down and listening to music or doing something and listening to music. Because just everything is so much more active now. But I'll get it. I'll get it eventually, hopefully. And in worst case scenario, I've listened to at least 5 albums, and hopefully 2 of those are ones that I'd put into a top 5. At the very least, and then Toby and Derek can fucking fill in the rest of that video.
Let them cook. All right. All right. I know
Anyway.
you are excited for me to be pissed off, right?
Please, dude, I have been wanting you to be pissed off so fucking hard
Okay.
so I can riff off of this shit so bad. Well, I don't want you to be pissed off, obviously, but I want to know why you're pissed off.
Good. So check this out. I am still a college student,
Correct.
and I am going into college, if y'all don't know this yet, to be a high school English teacher. One of the requirements for that is that we go through an education law policies class. Law is really confusing, and the one of the greatest takeaways is that schools, much like the states, have laws separate from the federal government that cannot be intervened with. So when a student is like, why'd you fucking take my phone, Mrs. Stupid Bitch? And she can be like, well, guess what, Mr. Pissy Pants? You were using it, and it's against school policy for you to do it during this time. So I can take your property, and your parent can come fucking pick it up, you little brat. There's a lot like that happens. But
Right.
one of the things I had to do was read different political platforms' views on educations. So the four major political parties are Republican, Democrat, Green, and Libertarians. Each of them has different policies they want to put in place for education, and a lot of them line up. One of them really didn't, and that was the Republican Party. It's but part of the assignment was to read through these and create what we would consider an ideal political sort of agenda for education, for public education, which is cool. As an educator, I cannot legally give my like political opinion. Like I won't say which party I would affiliate with if I were to. But I thought some of these from the Republican Party just sounded heinous, just insane. I was reading it and I was like, human beings actually wrote this.
Well,
And I could share this document, but there's probably no point. I'm gonna read some of these for you. So it started off okay. One of the things they wanted was great principals and great teachers. Republicans will support schools that focus on excellence and parental rights. We will support ending teacher tenure, adopting merit pay, and allowing various publicly supported educational models. And what that means, so tenure basically just means you're holding an office position and you can't lose it. So when you hear that a teacher's been tenured in, it basically means that they can't lose that teaching position. It's really hard to fire them. Maybe that's because they're unionized or something else. And the merit pay basically just means that you will get paid for your performance based on your evaluations versus time in service or whatever the fuck you want to call it, which I was down with. That sounded okay. I was like, yeah, certain teachers don't deserve to be teachers, and when it's harder to get rid of them, that sucks. And
right.
performance-based is hard to do when students can just fudge their view of their teacher, or when teachers get evaluated, they do get notice in advance so they can prepare the class, so they can change things and teach differently.
Right.
Let's see here. Where did it get really weird? Okay, one of them that started kind of that I was not as cool with was Republicans will support overhauling standards on school discipline, advocate for immediate suspension of violent students, and support hardening schools to help keep violence away from our places of learning. Keeping violence out of schools is great. Immediately suspending violent students seems like you could talk with them first, would be something I would try.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Let's see here. Knowledge and skills probably don't fucking matter all that much.
Well, I know like violent or I know people that have been reprimanded for being violent, but it was because of a lash out or it was because of self-defense or something like that, and immediately expelling somebody for something like that, or immediately reprimanding somebody for reacting violently. Also, violence is a pretty big spectrum, I think, but who's to say if they were being violent or not? You know, somebody, in my eyes, being violent is totally different than somebody being violent to Mrs. 90-year-old Smith over here. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that's a little bit of a gray area too that should probably be looked at a little bit heavier. But
yeah. Well, we get out of the gray and we go right back to just straight up fucking color.
Oh, good.
Republicans will ensure children are taught fundamentals like reading, history, science, and math, not left-wing propaganda. We will defund schools that engage in inappropriate political indoctrination of our children using federal taxpayer dollars.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I read that and I was like,
should you not be
what?
taught all of the fucking sides of everything so people can have the free will to choose for themselves?
Yeah. Anytime someone says the words left-wing propaganda to me, It's usually my brain shuts off. I exit
Yeah,
completely.
that is
I can sit there as a
ridiculous.
hollow man and just like just go along, but you should know I'm out. When you bring in political sides and you can't just say overall these are things, these
Yes.
exist in each scope of everything and we should learn about all of it. I'm out.
Yeah, once you've said immediately left wing, I'm already on the edge. I'm on the edge once you've said left wing, but the second I hear the word propaganda, I'm like, all right, this motherfucker's got brain worms for sure. The worms are squirming in their brain for sure. I just don't know. Dude,
Yep.
I want the youth of today to be able to decide for themselves what they think is right and wrong. Okay? And if immediately the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, either way, automatically just shit on the other side for the sake of shitting on the other side because they don't believe the same things that they believe, you've already done yourself a disservice. You've already
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah, you sure did. Like if you have to put down others to elevate your own status,
Yeah,
then you're just a bully.
yeah, get out of here. I just, dude,
Okay,
bruh.
it gets where'd it go? There was one oh, there's the really good one. Hang
Oh,
on,
yay.
there's a couple really good ones. One of my favorites is number 7 on here. It says promote love of country with authentic civics education. Republicans will reinstate the 1776 Commission, promote fair and patriotic civics education, and veto efforts to nationalize civics education. We will support schools that teach America's founding principles and Western civilization. Jacob, do you know what manifest destiny is? See, I don't know about you, but back in my day in 1776, only white males were people. Let's go back to that value. That was a good fucking time when we had the founding fathers
What?
kicking ass. We got out of, we got away from fucking England, those hoes that have been conquering the whole world for all of time and history.
What the fuck?
And we decided to just push our religious values everywhere. We need to go back to that in school, Jacob. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, these are all publicly posted things that
Wow.
you can look at.
Are you sure this isn't an old document from 1776?
This is 2024.
I think they just copied and pasted it from the original Constitution
All right.
to the internet. They photo scanned the Constitution and they just put that text into this document.
They fucking found a Trump flag that someone had written on in a public goddamn bathroom and they said, we should put this in school.
Oh my god, dude. What the
So,
fuck?
don't worry. This is this is the straw that got inserted in the camel's ass and fucked him left and right.
Fucked him left
And right.
and right.
Republicans will end left-wing gender insanity. We will keep men out of women's sports, ban taxpayer funding for sex change surgeries, and stop taxpayer-funded schools from promoting gender transition, reverse Biden's racial radical rewrite of Title IX education regulations, and restore protections for women and girls. It's the year of the feminist, everybody! Yay! These people. We're gonna keep
What?
saying that. We're gonna bring back the term "these people."
What
We're gonna call
the
them insane.
fuck? Dude. Dude. I just
Listen,
I just wow.
listen here, gang. This might be just part of my teaching philosophy, but a school, firstly, is a place of fucking safety and trust. A student is meant to feel comfortable where they are at in the classroom they're in, and they should trust that they and their rights will be like protected so that they can just fucking get on with the learning. Because a student is resistant to learning when they're not fucking safe and they don't trust anybody.
Mhm.
if you're gonna tell me that someone doesn't feel comfortable in their own skin, and that's just not fucking okay by you, don't teach them. You don't teach at all
Yeah.
because you are biased, you are selective, and you're focusing on all the wrong fucking things.
Yeah. The things that literally have nothing to do with them progressing in your class or not. Like, I
Yeah.
just.
So I had to
Where are
read.
we? Like, what
I had to read
timeline?
all that, and it was dumb.
What timeline is this?
I'm not going to read all the stuff from the other parties. Everyone's got a little bit of something to offer. Some of them a little bit better, some of them a little bit worse. Some of them, I will say, were just straight up laws that you already have to follow.
Yeah.
Like one of them said, we will promote or we will stand by the standards of the IDEA Act, which IDEA is Individuals with Disabilities Education Act.
Hmm.
It's a fucking federal law. You don't have to say we're gonna do this because you have to. You
Yeah.
must. You must support students of all fucking abilities because they are entitled to FAPE, which is free and fuck goddamn, I can't even think of what it stands for now. What is it again? Free and accessible public education, I think is what it stands for, something
Hmm.
like that. But these things students are already entitled to because they're federal laws. So you have to do them. You don't need to say that you're gonna do them.
Yeah.
Just do it.
We will stand by driving the speed limit on roads that have a speed limit sign.
We think you should wear a seatbelt. No shit. I guess that's state law for some places. Illinois was one of the places that wasn't doing that for a while. People got all upset.
Yeah, a lot of places it's the law.
We will not allow guns in schools. I hope not.
Wow. Whoa. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. This was also my first day in the classroom, and it was a hoot. I didn't get to do anything at all. My CT was like, I asked her, I was like, when should I get up and do like my introduction? She's like, at the end, the very end.
Introduction on the outro.
You will, yeah. And I sat in a chair in the back of the class,
You're gonna
and
give the
I,
kids a crisp high five on their way out the class to
yeah.
their next classroom.
But some of them were very excited that I told them instead of doing the regular like get up, tell me three things about yourself. Tomorrow we are going to be doing show and tell instead. And one of the students was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yes." That made my day. The fact
Hell
that
yeah.
one student was super excited for it. So I'm gonna bring in my Godzilla 4K, and I'm just gonna riff about that.
I'd have been pumped if my teacher said we're doing show and tell. Hell
Yeah,
yeah, dude. I'd have been lit.
that's
I,
my life.
I would have gotten bullied for my show and tell more than likely, but I got bullied for everything, so
Oh, probably, dude. I'm wearing my Godzilla minus one shirt to school tomorrow as well, so
fuck
I'm
yeah.
going all out.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I love this country and the education, the education system and policies.
Yeah. God, that is
Yeah.
foul. I just that leaves a very bad taste in my mouth.
Right?
That leaves a horrible taste in my mouth. I don't like it.
Focused on all the wrong things. And meanwhile, other ones are like, we're going to try and get schools to have free lunches. And I was like, yes, yes, you have figured out the issue. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Please, for fuck's sake, dude. I was never in a position that like I would have been lacking on lunch and stuff, but I knew kids that were. I knew kids that didn't have food. And you know what our schools did when a kid didn't have like lunch money or something or didn't bring their own food? They'd have to go through the lunch line and tell the fucking cafeteria lady that they didn't have money for the day.
Mm.
And they gave them a piece of bread with a slice of cheese in it.
What the fuck?
Like two slices of bread with a slice of cheese in it.
They at least
Yes.
got fed soup in Auschwitz.
Yeah,
What the
no.
shit?
They got two pieces of bread with cheese in it, and I think they might have gotten like might have gotten like a fucking fruit cup or some shit. Maybe. I don't remember, but it wasn't much. That was it. So then not only did they have the like in their head, they had this fucking just very depressed feeling that they didn't have enough money to get the school lunch. But now they had to be shunned by everybody that had to see and hear and witness them get the most pathetic fucking thing that they could possibly muster in the cafeteria and go eat that. in their seat in the middle of fucking hundreds of kids, because my class was like 700 people. Okay,
Oh my God.
so there was, and it wasn't just my class eating. It was the like several grade levels. It was ninth through 12th, but there was probably about 500 kids in the cafeteria at any given time. Okay, and they had to sit there and eat this shit in front of fucking everybody. Probably embarrassed. Probably like already feeling bad because they couldn't buy the food that everybody else could get. Like, it was awful. It was awful.
Yeah. My God. I was one of those kids that I never had to worry about not having lunch, but also, like, I had to pay money out of my pocket. I would have to go to the office every couple months and be like, here is like $100 that I earned from my job as a 16-year-old. Can I please have lunch today?
Oh yeah, no, I never had to worry about that. But I mean,
No cheese sandwiches though.
once I was old enough, like to work and shit, and I had my own job and whatnot, I was obviously getting extras or I'd buy extras or whatever. My parents never made me get my own lunch, but like, and then my senior year, I did have to get my own lunch, I guess. But by then, I had a job. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. There were a few times that I forgot my money, or I just didn't have enough, and I would have to take
Yeah,
the
like we
walk
got
of
a
shame.
cheese sandwich in the back for you,
Yeah,
buddy.
I had to take the walk of shame with my cheese sandwich. That's how I found that out, by the way, the hard way. Even though I knew that this was happening for years, but it never registered with me until then. And that sucked, but it's okay because I lived like right down the road. I would just walk to the house and grab something most of the time if I forgot something. But yeah, it's awful, dude. It's awful.
Yeah.
And I feel like the schools are just not taken care of enough. And in a lot of places, maybe they're better off in some places. This is Virginia public schools I'm talking about, by the way. I don't know anything about Iowa public schools. I don't know anything about Illinois public schools. But Virginia public schools are decent. I can't really say that they're not because they are actually some of the best in the country. Like statistically anyway. As far as like violence goes and stuff that goes into the social aspect of things, I could probably tell you they're not that great, but
Dude,
what the fuck do I know? But
I also did some light reading in the handbook for the school that I'm teaching at right now, which is the school I graduated from, by the way. But I never read into the school planner because I was just wondering what times classes were and all that. When was I going to get lunch? And I would write down my assignments. But they have a whole bunch of documents in the front. This one, if I had a child and I read this, I'd be scared to send them to this school. There are over 4 pages dedicated to the prohibition of gangs and gang violence and other gang-related signs and symbols.
dude,
Like very early in the front. And there's also at least another 4 pages on discipline alone. Like if you do this, you are fucked. You fucked up a problem child.
where's this at? Hamilton?
This is in Carthage.
Carthage?
Yeah.
How much gang activity is in Carthage?
There's a lot. There's actually a shitload.
Yeah, but you
It's
have like
scary.
you have like 20 people in the town. So what, like half of that?
2,000. Well, okay, so there's
That's what I said.
2,000 here. Shut up. And also, the school that I'm teaching at became like the epicenter for everybody in Hancock County. So we also have students coming from, what are the other places? I can't even remember. Damn it. But there are like 2 or 3 other schools that students are coming from.
Okay, so
more gang stuff.
I still don't believe for a second there's a lot of gang shit happening in Carthage. You're never going to convince me that because
That's fine. It's real.
Chesapeake Public Schools, aka Western Branch, where I'm from, which is one of the better of the high schools in the area. Chesapeake's 250,000 people. Okay, 250,000 people in Chesapeake. Just Chesapeake. That's not including the surrounding areas that also had kids coming in from various different places and shit. Now, the population of each school, I couldn't tell you. There was a fuck ton of schools, whereas Carthage is probably one school that just filters through
Yeah.
the surrounding areas and shit. And that's how it is at a lot of places in Iowa, as well. But for us, like, we had active gang activity everywhere. Like, there really wasn't an area that didn't have gang activity. And Chesapeake Public Schools were no different. Norfolk was horrible. Hampton was horrible. I mean, shit was fucking awful all over the place. But we're also coastal, too. But I knew people that were in gangs. I have friends that are still in gangs. More than likely. I haven't talked to them in a while, but I guarantee you they're still in gangs. And obviously I can't mention any names or anything like that because that would get me all fucked up and that would get them fucked up, and I ain't trying to get into that business. But I can, like, take my word for it or not. I mean, you don't have to believe me, but dude, I know people that are actively in gangs, and I'm telling you right now, it fucking happening in fucking Carthage, Illinois, dude. No way, dude.
It's not like a huge thing, but there is like gangs and cartel that are around here. And it's weird.
Are they Amish?
How active they are in the fucking community. They are not Amish.
Fucking Amish drive-bys, dude. Fucking pitchforks.
Yeah, but shit, there's just
Anyway.
all that mess going on.
Yeah, no, that's fucking crazy. I wouldn't have pegged that to be a topic of contingency at those schools, because like it was active in our schools, is what I'm saying. Like, shit was active there. Like, we knew places in like certain neighborhoods and shit that you just didn't go to. You just don't go to. If you're not in that kind of gang activity, or you're not in with people that are in that gang activity, you just stay away from them. You don't go near them. Leave them alone. So
they live among us here. They're in the system. These gang members. So no gangs of any kind. No mention of gang talk, which sucks because it doesn't suck, but like I use the term gang freely to talk about a group of people. Like, all right, gang. What are we doing? Gang.
Yeah. No,
so gotta watch that and all the swearing. Can't be doing much of that.
Nah, fuck that.
This is the real world, kiddos.
Yeah, you guys are gonna hear the F-bomb one way or another, so say it. Fuck. Just do it. Say it one good time.
Yep, but one day in, and it's already massively different than when I was teaching at Warsaw last semester. I hope it'll be fun all the same, but shaky start.
It can only go up from here.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, hopefully it doesn't go any further down.
All right. This all sucks. And you know what else sucks sometimes?
What?
Movies.
Oh.
You're never going to hear that from me, that movies suck, but
hey, some movies do suck.
Some movies are just fucking trash.
It's true.
But some of those trash movies are just so bad, you can't help but enjoy them. It's spooky season coming up soon. I haven't started watching any movies aside from Coraline, which is a great movie, but I have some on my list that I intend to watch that I'll watch just because they're hilariously bad. I think horror is a really good genre for having extremely bad but fun to watch movies.
Correct.
But that made me think of asking the question of what movies are just so bad, but they're really fun to watch that you have or that you've experienced.
Right. So, I think that my brain is robotic enough to be like, okay, this movie's bad, I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand why people think this is bad, but like I was telling you before, I think that there are movies that are out there that just are underrated, or people just don't understand, or they're just completely fucking like unhinged or left field, that they don't make any sense, so I'm the only motherfucker on the planet that understands it and actually likes it.
Yeah.
So that's the take I'm gonna go with, but there is one in particular that I am pretty sure is bad. It's probably got like a 20 or less on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's pretty fucking bad, and it did the general consensus anyway. And it's a Brandon Fraser movie from back in 2000, 2001 or something like that, and it's Monkey Bone. I don't know if you've ever seen Monkey Bone before, but it is... I
haven't.
It's fucking unhinged. It is unhinged, okay? This fucking comic strip artist, or whatever, is like just blowing up. He's fucking huge. Brandon Fraser's character is huge, alright? And he just got this deal, and he's got a bunch of merch and stuff that he's about to get signed to, and he's dating this dentist, All right, and the night that he's like doing this presentation or whatever, he's planning on going back home and proposing to her. Well, he said he's like he pulls her aside at the thing that they're like showing off all this like merchandise and stuff at, and he's like, hey, we need to get out of here, let's go early. And she's like, no, this is huge, you're big and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't care, I just want to get home, because obviously he's trying to propose to her. Well, because of all the merch and shit, the Monkey Bone merch, which is the name of his comic strip, by the way, which is a whole nother unhinged thing about this movie, but because of the merch, he fucking gets in a car accident because he inflates this big ass like monkey bone inflatable in his car, and it like makes him press the gas pedal, and he fucking gets a car accident, and he slips into a coma.
Okay.
And then the rest of the movie is his coma dream. Okay, he's in this coma dream, which is like part animatronics, part CG, part fucking like claymation, and it's very Tim Burton-esque all over the place, which is probably why I like it so much. And he's got to go to the land of sleep or something while he's in this coma and get an exit ticket from death or some shit like that, so he can shoot back into life, into his body, and live again, so he can wake up from the coma. It's this big innuendo for waking up from the coma. But all of his imagination and psyche is inside this fucking coma dream, including Monkey Bone, the monkey that's from his comic strip.
Yeah.
And the monkey wants to live in the real world. So the monkey manages to steal his exit pass, and he escapes into his body, into Brandon Fraser's body. And Monkey Bone is a horny monkey. Like, he's just horny as fuck. He wants to fuck everything. So when it's basically Brandon Fraser's like crazy side of his personality, even though he's normally like this really shy, artistic kind of guy. This is his like outgoing shit, but it's all amplified because it's in the form of Monkey Bone, this fucking character that he's drawn. And he fucking gets shot up into his body, and then Monkey Bone is like running his body basically, but he's obviously very different than what the normal Brandon Fraser would be doing. Like, he doesn't do anything normally. So his girlfriend, aka the fucking dentist, is like, this is weird, this is not you, this is not who I fell in love with, blah blah blah. But now Brandon Fraser's got to go and fucking get another exit pass to get up there, but his body's already taken, so he gets shot up into a fucking organ donor's body. It was like the next best one, and he's getting organs taken out of him and shit. But he's, dude,
that sounds completely fucking unhinged. Like Pandora's box open.
Yes, it is unhinged. But it's got Brandon Fraser, it's got Whoopi Goldberg, it's got fucking dude, it's got fucking Chris Catton, which he hasn't been in anything like big in a while, I don't think.
Took a hit after the monkey movie.
Dude, it's got a bunch of stuff in it. Fucking just, if you get a chance to watch Monkey Bone, just do it at least once. It's one that I have on VHS. Like, I legit love this movie. I've always loved this movie, and nobody likes this movie as much as I do. I can guarantee you that. But it's fucking good. It's fun to watch. It's like I said, completely unhinged. But do yourself a favor, especially if you like Brandon Fraser, because it's nothing anywhere close to his other work at all. It's not like The Whale. It's not like The Mummy. It's not like George of the Jungle. It is fucking unhinged, okay? And I love it. It's like a fucking Tim Burton comedy horror thing. It's fucked in every way that you could possibly think that it's fucked.
So I'm hoping by the end of this episode we have a list of movies that's just like must grab from the $5 movie bin at Walmart, because that's where it's heading.
Yeah, dude, if you find this in the fucking $5 movie bin, grab this motherfucker, dude.
I would. After that description,
it's so good.
I've got a monkey one for you.
Oh, hell yeah.
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh.
Not Godzilla versus King Kong. Okay, the original one from the 60s.
Oh, okay.
I think it was either 60s or very early 70s. I'm pretty sure it was 60s, like 1962. I've been watching all the Godzilla movies, trying to anyway, and a lot of them just get fucking laughably horrible. The first one was really good. This is the first movie with Godzilla that had color in it. Something I didn't know about King Kong, which is why I thought he never had a fucking chance against Godzilla. Apparently, King Kong in this movie can just harness the power of lightning. You
Yeah.
know this?
No, I didn't know
Have
that.
you seen this movie?
No. No, I haven't.
Okay, it's beautiful because they're just like it's a dude in a suit in the Godzilla
Yeah.
suit and the King Kong suit. But in the Godzilla suit, it's especially funny because he's just like when he's punching at the monkey.
Yeah.
But he kicks King Kong down and he's all fucking just laying down in a pile of rubble. And for whatever reason, instead of like atomic breathing him, Godzilla kicks boulders at him and he'll just pick up a boulder and I'm pretty sure they're like paper mache ones for the set at that time. And Godzilla just picks it up over his head and just starts lobbing boulders at him until he's buried. And you think the monkey's dead, and then this fucking lightning storm comes in, this thunderstorm, and it hits him. And it's the most beautiful CGI for the time ever because there's lightning going all around Mr. Monkey himself, King Kong. But he gets up, and every slap, every right hook he throws at Godzilla then just shocks him. And you just hear a little bzzz, just knocking his ass out. But that coupled with the very nature of the movie, all of the Godzilla movies up to that were more serious. This one was actually meant to be a comedy, and it works so perfectly because the whole premise of it is there's this journalism company in Japan, and they're now trying to promote Godzilla, and because he's always in the news, so they're trying to get their news story out first, and they send this group to the fucking island that King Kong lives at to go get him and bring him back to Japan for fuck knows what reason to use him as a mascot, which is already fucked.
Naturally.
But the whole time they're making like really funny jokes about it. It's a whole spectacle. And there's always some dude that's the punching bag at the office. And this dude, my favorite part of the movie, no matter what scene you get him in, he always just pulls out an egg, and like a hard-boiled egg, and starts eating it. He's always got a fucking hard-boiled egg on him. Eggs
Hell
are
yeah.
funny.
Dude, eggs are the best. If you just
Yeah.
send a random egg emoji to somebody, they're gonna lose their mind.
Yeah.
They will laugh their fucking ass off.
So that movie was actually great. Oh yeah, the other part that was just so terrible. This is the first time any of the Godzilla movies started using what would be a green screen backdrop with a video playing, but they'd have the actors in front of it. So it looked like they were running across a stage while there's something in the background. But it was just supposed to look like a monster was a bigger scale. So there's an octopus on the screen in the back, and people obviously two-dimensional running across it, but they're still chucking spears at it. And it's just bouncing off the screen, and it's supposed to look like it's hitting the monster.
No.
It's beautiful, and it's terrible, and I loved it. And I watched it in 140p. It was great. It made the graphics better.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because you can not see as much detail, so
Exactly.
that's awesome.
It was wonderful.
I fucking love that. So my next one, I actually just I looked this up because I was actually curious because it's a B. I thought it was a B movie. Okay. Apparently it was less of a B movie than I thought it was, but I mean, it still is. I think it's just a really well done B movie. Apparently, it's actually got a fucking like 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, which fucking blows my mind because I've never heard anybody that
Wow.
knows what this is. And it's a drama thriller kind of thing. It's set up to be a drama thriller, but it's not really until like the last third of the movie. I don't know. Anyway, I fucking love it. I ended up having to get it on DVD because you can't stream it anywhere. It says it's on Prime, but it's fucking not. I've tried. I finally found the DVD for it, so that was cool. But it's called The Wild Hunt. And The Wild Hunt, especially with a cover like this, you'd think is a pretty spoopy movie. If I can fucking pull up the goddamn picture. But it's got this dude with a fucking deer skull and shit, and like all these people
Yeah.
dressed up down at the bottom. It looks pretty spoopy. It's really not at all. But this dude's having like this weird like thing with his dad who's in the fucking, like, he's in some weird health thing. Like, I don't know. He's at home. He's got to stay home with his dad, basically, to take care of him. And his girlfriend is living there with him, and she's, like, getting fed up. So her reprieve is to go to this fucking LARP thing, this, like, big-ass fucking Renaissance LARP thing or whatever, and role play with all these other people and shit. Like, that's her escape. And he doesn't get it because he grew out of that kind of shit. Like, that's his mindset. He grew out of this whole, like, LARPing fucking fantasy shit. So it's just childish. And these people are in their 20s or better, probably, maybe late teens, who knows, but they're old enough to stay at home with their fucking dad and take care of them. So I'm assuming they're in their 20s. Well, she goes off this fucking LARP thing, and he starts getting paranoid. He starts getting paranoid that she's, like, sleeping with some other dude there and shit, and that's why she just is getting fed up with staying at home with them and whatnot. So he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go see what's up, because I just need to know. Well, his brother also does this, and he's older. Like, he's probably in his 30s, and he does this shit, alright? And he's, like, super fucking into it. Ridiculously into it. And he's blaming his brother for why his girlfriend always goes back to that, because he encourages it. He's like, yeah, you and so need to come back and do this thing or whatever. And the whole time, he's trying to, like, LARP with his girlfriend so he can talk and shit. But she's, like, denying him, and he's like, he's got to go do his own thing, and the people in the LARP thing are like, hey, no, you got to stay in character and shit. It's basically all going awry. Well, until eventually some really fucked up shit happens, and then it starts getting more thriller territory and so forth. But I don't know anybody that's ever talked about this ever in my life. But for some reason,
heard of it.
Nobody's heard of it. That's why I don't know how the fuck it's got an 82 on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe it's got 5 views, and all 5 of those viewers love the movie. I don't know. But
that one critic that went to the theater that day was like, hell yeah.
I don't think it was ever in
people
theaters.
People aren't going to watch it, so no one's ever going to see this review.
I don't think it was ever in theaters. That's why I thought it was a fucking B movie.
Well, then some schmo in his fucking basement probably watched it then. Probably got early access to it because he's Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I thought it was pretty good. It was released in 2009. I thought all the acting was fairly superb for being a budget movie, at least what I thought it was a budget movie. But even the IMDb is, like, super mid. There's, like, nothing on here. There's nothing on the IMDb at all.
It's just incredible. They love it.
I mean, there's 33 reviews, but
those are the only people that have seen it.
I guess so, and it was good to those 33 people. But,
okay, side tangent. Do you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score and you go, man, this will determine how I feel about this movie?
No.
Okay, 'cause I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes after they... I mean, this episode idea came up a long time ago when we did what we do for the one and only copy of our favorite movies, and I realized Cherry has a 36% and the Black Cauldron has like a 20-something%. So yeah. I don't fucking believe a word of that shit.
No, I don't either. There's always nuance to it, because you're always gonna like what you're gonna like, you know.
Yeah.
And some people just like some really obscure ass shit. Like, there's people, I don't know if I've mentioned the movie Begotten before to you, but
I think you have.
It's fucking stupid as shit. It's, like, absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And people that like the movie are obsessed with it. Like, they think it's literally the most masterful fucking artistic vision that's ever been produced about religion whatsoever. And I'm like, do you and I watch the same fucking movie? Because that was dog shit. Like, there's no fucking way.
Was it a horror movie? Because I might have heard about it from your other podcast.
Yes. It is.
I think that's where I heard about it.
I think it's a horror movie. It's a fucking silent film that was made recently, or, well, not recently, but in the modern age, black and white. Some really fucking weird, obscure, fetishized version of the fucking birth of Jesus and how God is and shit like that. It's
you did tell me about this.
Dude. It's dumb.
Well, do you want to know about another really dumb horror movie?
Absolutely.
Willy's Wonderland is perhaps my favorite terrible
I still have not
movie.
Fucking watched that yet. I need to watch it so bad.
Idiot.
I know.
There's a reason that the Blu-ray is like $40. It's because people want this masterpiece of shit. It's better than Five Nights at Freddy's. Honestly. Five Nights at Freddy's tried. This one didn't.
I've heard a lot of people say that, though. Like, I've heard a lot of people say it's better than Five Nights at Freddy's.
So Willy's Wonderland is just Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's Nicolas Cage being silent and wearing sunglasses and doing Nicolas Cage things, like beating the fuck out of animatronics. The premise is that his fucking muscle car, he ran over some spikes on the road that someone planted, and the mayor of the town and the mechanic have a deal where the mechanic sets these traps, gets people, and the only way to pay off that debt is to go work at Willy's Wonderland for just the night as a janitor. And they go and do that just so they can feed the animatronics because the town has a pact with the fucking animatronics
Right.
that they're gonna feed them. It
Hell
looks
yeah.
really really cool though. Honestly, the visuals of it are really good. The oil spraying out of the animatronics is great, and Nicolas Cage is bashing them all the time is great. But
Fuck
perhaps the
yeah.
best part of it is every hour on the hour, even when he's in the middle of a fight, his watch timer starts beeping. He'll stop everything he's doing. He'll go into the fridge, grab a drink that's just labeled punch. He'll drink it and he'll play fucking pinball in the back break room. And then as soon as he's fueled up, he goes right back out to bashing.
Damn. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a masterpiece, and it's one of those that I was so happy I got to share this with somebody else. Because my buddy Maya and I, we were gonna watch some horror movies last year just because we were getting started on the kick for the season. We watched The Thing, and we watched Willy's Wonderland.
Hell yeah.
So we watched
Two
Willy's Wonderland first,
masterpieces.
and she was like, "That's a fucking F. That's awful." And then we watched The Thing, and we're like, "Holy shit, this is S tier." Just complete opposite ends of the spectrum. It was great. It's definitely just a fun, campy, tropey movie, and it's one that's like, if you were hoping for a good Five Nights at Freddy's that doesn't take itself seriously, that's the one to watch.
Nice. Yeah, no, I need to watch it really bad. I have not gotten around to watching it, but I need to. I know I do. A lot of people were saying that it's better than Five Nights at Freddy's, and after watching Five Nights at Freddy's, I was like, okay, that's fun. It was fun. It was a fun movie, whatever. I mean, for kids, sure, whatever, I understand, but that
Yeah.
dumb bitch in the fucking security suit or whatever, security bitch, I fucking cannot stand her, dude. She was
Yeah, the
so...
cop.
Yes, dude, she was fucking irritating the whole fucking time. I'm like, ma'am, please turn yourself into the police station for bad acting, bad everything.
When she threw the man's meds in the fucking river that he needed for
Dude,
sleeping.
yes. And then when he was like, dude, he said something like, he said, just tell me what's going on so I can understand. And she said, I've been telling you this whole time. I'm like, no, you fucking haven't. You literally have not told him anything.
Mm-mm.
You didn't tell him a fucking thing. He's trying to understand. No, shut up. No.
Yeah.
And then like the whole like wanting to dance with him and shit, and like making it all cute and shit.
The pillow party, or pillow fight, whatever. Fucking yeah, that was the
Yes.
sleepover. Is pretty much what it was.
And then yeah, but then she was like, it's too fucking dangerous in here, and if you bring your fucking sister back here ever again, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah,
You were literally
she said, "I'm
just-
gonna kill you."
Yes, but you're encouraging her having a fucking sleepover slumber party with pillows and shit with them.
Yeah.
But if he brings her back, you're gonna fucking shoot him? How much
You don't have to
how much
worry
you
about
fucking
any
eat?
of that if you watch Willy's Wonderland. None of that stupid shit happens. All right. There are teens having sex. They're breaking in, trying to destroy the place. Yep, they're trying to burn it down because Willy's Wonderland is bad. And you got Nicolas Cage just fucking beating the piss out of. I wish he'd beat up some kids, but animatronics are a good close second.
Okay. Because we're talking about horror movies, specifically like really bad horror movies,
Oh, please mention the one I think.
I'm probably not mentioning the one you think.
Probably
one,
not.
There's one well, it's a franchise. It's a whole series of movies that I've been watching recently because of a From the Crypt episode we were supposed to be doing. We already did the first.
Freddie, are we going to talk about Friday the 13th?
We are. And here's why.
Yes!
They're fucking awful movies. They're
Yes,
awful.
yes, they are.
They're fucking god awful. And for some reason, Jason Voorhees is part of the big three.
Yep.
Now explain that one to me, please, because how in the fuck did we as a society build the Friday the 13th movies up to be the face of one of the big three when
I'll tell
we've
you what
got
happened.
fucking Hellraiser, which I know some of those are pretty bad, but at least the fucking concept is more original and it's still cooler looking. We have Candyman, which is legitimately a great movie and also has a very cool, unique plot and outcome and a very cool and distinct character. I know he doesn't have fucking scars all over his face like Freddy, and he doesn't have a fucking hockey mask, which that's dumb as fuck. But he's got a fucking hook for a hand and he's covered in bees, dude. That's fucking
He's covered
sick.
in bees.
That's sick as fuck. Anyway, we've got fucking... I don't even like Chucky, but at least the Child's Play movies are funny, and they're also scary, at least to kids and shit. Like, that kind of stuff makes a horror icon. There is nothing whatsoever about the Friday the 13th movies that screams icon.
Yeah, so
Like, at
those the Friday the 13th falls into the same realm as the Halloween movies and the Nightmare on Elm Street, which are all 70s, 80s camp horror movies. And that was beloved by a whole generation. And today we consider those the classics of horror. This is the origins of it. I think, even though I fucking despise the first Halloween movie because it was dog shit, it's like it still comes second. Jason is still second because Jason came second. Friday the 13th was second to that, and it wasn't a great idea compared to Halloween.
I don't
But
know.
I'm so happy that we were both thinking about the Friday the 13th movies.
Nightmare on Elm Street, fucking awesome. I love the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I love them. Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I will stand by that forever. Okay? It's fun. It's got a extremely charismatic fucking villain. It's got teenagers doing stupid shit. Like, everything that you want in a fucking 70s, 80s, 90s horror movie. Campy horror movie, okay? But the kids are, at the very least, are all still reacting roughly in the same way that I would argue most kids would react. Okay, they'd be like, oh shit, he's attacking us in our dreams. Let's fucking try to stay awake. Like, they're all making sense to a degree, with it still being a pretty cheesy horror movie, okay? Well, we can all agree with that. The fucking teenagers in Friday the 13th, you could, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Derek said this one. I'm going to give him credit for this one because it fucking killed me, but you could convince these motherfuckers to hang themselves with a cordless phone. I'm not kidding. They are the dumbest batch of fucking idiots. Every movie. I've seen all of them except for 9 and 10 so far. I've seen all of them so far except for 9 and 10. And that's only because I have to rent them, and I'm still contemplating whether or not I want to fucking do that. Because I don't want to spend any money on them, because they're fucking awful. But these kids in every single movie, all the adults too, are fucking morons.
Yeah, they sure are.
And then I think the first, 4 movies or so, and this is, like the first couple I understand, but after a while you should probably know what you're doing at this point. The fucking scenes where, you're in the perspective of Jason, fucking hiding behind a tree and shit. And you're supposed to, and you're, peeking behind the tree and the kids are walking up on you and shit, so you, duck back or whatever. That's to make you feel like you are in Jason's shoes, right? So you're looking from behind, or in the obviously, the first one, we're talking about Mrs. Voorhees. But, there were some scenes where he was in the path. Literally, he would have been standing in the fucking path. No trees around.
Yeah, the cameraman is just holding the camera with the thing over it with the kids in front, but they're acting super oblivious. But I think part of it, what it was supposed to do, was to make you feel like if you, God, there's a gnat in here, fucking Christ. But if you're watching it from the Jason perspective, I think what you're supposed to get out of it is a sense of someone could be watching me. Because you're following the teenagers or the camp counselors the whole time, and you see that they're being watched, and it's supposed to give you that sense of dread that maybe I could be watched if I don't look around.
But
It doesn't do that.
But the point is, there are multiple times where the cameraman does duck back behind a tree, like it is almost seen. In reference to, in the first, actually, as a matter of fact, if we're talking about the first one, which is egregious about this, by the way,
Yeah.
we're talking these kids would see a random ass old lady in a sweater out in the middle of the fucking woods. She would have easily been spotted in several of those scenes. Okay? Now, I'll give the first and second or whatever some credit because, like, they're old as fuck. I get it. They're still trying to figure shit out. But after that, they're doing the same shit. And I'm like, dude, this is a massive hulking man with a fucking hockey mask and a machete. You see him. You see him.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way you don't see him. You see this man. You see him. Get out of here. You guys are fucking idiots. All of you. You're all dumb as hell. Anyway. Enough about fucking Friday the 13th because dude, I have to talk about this all over again.
No, we're going to keep talking because I need to say that fight with the old lady at the end of the first movie is so goddamn funny. I tried to take the movie serious for most of it. I was like, okay, this is what they're working with, but at the same time I was like, man, fucking The Thing came out not more than a year or two before this. You can do these things that are you're capable of this. But fighting that old lady, and I remember her running at I think it was the girl that survives at the end. She's like, ah! She's running at,
yeah.
What is happening?
Dude, I've told multiple people this, but you could probably agree with me that me and you and Toby could make Friday the 13th with a phone and a group of our friends, and it would have been better.
Easily.
Like, better acting, better practical effects, as you can see in the Pizzaverse. Literally would have been better. And I know we have more knowledge today, but dude, like you said, The Thing came out a couple years before this did. Like, there's no excuse. No excuse.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that stood out to me, I've only watched the first Friday the 13th and the 2009 version of it, which I've told you this before. When I watched the 2009 one, which was my introduction to Friday the 13th, I was like, holy shit, Jason can run. This changes the game.
Yeah.
It did, but the rest of that movie was just so fucking terrible, except for 2 lines when the kids are banging in the cabin.
Don't say it.
The best line of all time in any movie ever is, you have perfect nipple placement. I just fucked up that line, but that's the line. You have perfect nipple placement. Beautiful.
I am pretty sure he says something along the lines of, your tits are superb. Or
I think he says that first.
Or stupendous or something like that.
And then he says, you have perfect nipple placement.
That
whatever they're paying the writers for that, it's not enough.
That is fucking dumb. Dude, the writers of that are watching this episode right now. They're like, they pay writers?
No, they're watching this and they're like, that's why I'm a bestseller now. That's why I'm on New York Times bestseller list every year.
Dude, it's fucking... Dude, you have only seen the first one and the remake?
Yeah. I'm going to watch more. I'm going to subject myself to more because I really want to watch Jason X.
After the second one, I was losing grip, okay? After the third one, I had lost my grip already. I was like, alright, this is just going to be a slosh the whole way through. I'm going to fucking hate my life every time. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one where the fucking bitch in the fucking movie has superpowers, like telekinesis or some shit, and I'm like, alright, you've lost me.
The fucking bitch in the fucking movie has superpowers.
You've lost me. You got telekinesis in this motherfucker. And I asked Derek this. I was like, dude, does this bitch have telekinetic powers? And he's like, okay, yeah, it's basically Carrie versus Jason. And I'm like, alright, you lost me. I'm fucking done. And then he fucking goes to Manhattan. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold up. What do you mean he goes to fucking Manhattan? Isn't he supposed to be like the Curse of Crystal Lake? Isn't he like why... people get killed in Crystal Lake? Why the fuck would he end up in Manhattan? How is he getting there, for one? And I found out how, and it's fucking stupid. 2, he would have no interest in Manhattan because He's supposed to be in Crystal Lake defending his haunted legacy of killing bitches that are going into Crystal Lake fucking. Also, the amount of people that live around Crystal Lake blows my fucking mind, dude. The amount of cabins and shit that are just lining the edges of Crystal Lake where these people got murdered multiple times, several years.
The amount of times it keeps happening, and everyone
Yes.
acknowledges that it happens, but they go and do it again.
10 movies, 10 of them. Plus Freddy vs. Jason, which is also wow. And then the 2009 fucking remake. Oh my god, dude. Oh, it's such a fucking slosh, dude. It's a slosh. I have not seen 9 or 10 yet, but they're on my list, unfortunately. Good. And we got to talk about them on From the Crypt. We already did 1 through 6. If anybody wants to check that out, you can go check that out on From the Crypt. That was rough, but
I may have to go and watch that.
I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty nice. But I'm glad I was, because after watching 7 and 8, and I Freddy vs. Jason again, because I've already seen Freddy vs. Jason, and knowing that I'm gonna have to watch the fucking remake again, dude, I already know this next episode about Freddy vs. or Friday the 13th is gonna be fucking rough. It's gonna be rough.
You gotta just watch them with someone. It's one of those movies that I think maybe it's just funnier when you watch it with someone else.
Maybe. I don't have anybody to watch them with, because I'm trying to get my girlfriend to get to the MCU. We're on the Incredible Hulk, by the way. We're making progress.
Okay, good. That's a good one then, at least.
We're on the Incredible Hulk. Next we got Thor.
Ew.
Yeah, and then we have the Avengers. So,
okay.
At least we got the Avengers coming up soon, but the Incredible Hulk is tonight, probably right after I get done recording this. So,
I have one more. I know we're pushing for time, but it would be a disservice if I didn't.
I have one more as well after you're done, unless you're going to mention the same movie as I am.
There's no way. It's a superhero movie. You ready?
Oh, okay.
2015, Fan Four Stick. The Fantastic Four from 2015 that everyone refers to as Fan Four Stick. Yes. I love this movie.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're talking about the one, the reboot.
Yes, with Miles Teller as Mr. Fantastic. I'm talking about the one that ends with Ben Grimm saying it's fantastic and Reed Richards saying, "Hang on, say that again," and then the title appears. The visual effects in that movie still blow my fucking mind. I love it.
You have lost me.
My tattoo artist, I told him about it, and he's like, "Dude, no, that movie sucks." I'm like, "Well, I haven't seen it in a couple of years. Maybe I should rewatch it." And my wife and I did. And when I saw Doctor Doom I love that version of Doctor Doom. I love the fucking face shield and astronaut suit melded into his body. I love the voice. It's chilling when he comes up and he says, "There is no more Victor, only Doom." And he walks through the hall and everyone's skulls start fucking bursting. I'm telling you, man, that is cinema. I know the movie is trash. I know everyone hates it, but I love aspects of it like that. A lot of it is really fucking cringe and weird. I think, I genuinely despised, what the hell's his name? Michael B. Jordan. I genuinely despised him for a while because he did such a bad job in that movie.
Yeah. I mean, I think Michael B. Jordan's he's a pretty good actor, but there's very specific roles I think he plays well.
Yeah, because he's in Chronicle, which is like my second favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get out of here without sharing the Fan Four Stick experience, which everyone should experience.
Fuck.
Since they're rebooting Fantastic Four again.
Yeah, I'm pretty iffy on that. I'm excited because I want to see what they're gonna do with it, but I'm also very skeptical because we've had some doozies, man.
I really don't want to watch it. I don't
know if I will. I want to watch it really bad. I want to see what they do with it. The only part that makes me super skeptical is that Love and Thunder exists, and that makes me want to throw up.
There are worse things. We had Madam Web. We had Blue Beetle,
I
which
don't.
somehow
I don't.
everyone
No.
loves.
Blue Beetle's DC. Madam Web is Sony. I'm not talking about those.
Okay,
Fantastic
well,
Four is Disney. Well, Fox, but Disney.
yeah, Marvel. Well, is this Marvel now?
Marvel. Yeah, it's all Marvel. But Sony, I don't count their properties. I don't even count Venom. I don't count Venom. The only thing in the Sony verse that I count is the Spider Verse movies. Those are the only two movies that I count in
And
Sony's.
Morbius.
No, no Madam Web, no Morbius, no Venom, uh, none of that shit. None of it. Spider Verse, Spider Verse. That's it.
Yep.
But oh wait, was Sam Raimi Spider Man's? Were those Sony as well?
Those are Sony.
Okay, well, I consider Sam Raimi's stuff as well, and the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Those I'm fine with, but all the fucking side shit that they started doing with the villains and stuff, no. Scratch all that shit. But anyway, Fantastic Four I'm excited about. But because we recently got Quantumania, which was one of the biggest letdowns of the year, which I'm
Yep.
gonna go ahead and thank what's his face for that, because it's probably his fault that movie went to shit.
The guy who plays Kang.
Yeah, like because of the domestic stuff that happened with him and them trying to like shoo him out because of all of that and all the reshoots that I had to go through and whatnot, because of all of that drama happening, I'm blaming him for the disservice that did, because I was actually looking forward to it. I thought that was going to be a damn good movie, and I bet you it fucking would have been had it not been for that shit. So that pissed me off. 2, Love and Thunder made me want to throw up.
Yeah.
Every second that I sat into Love and Thunder made me want to throw up. They did Gore the God Butcher dirty. Like, they did him dirty, dude.
The theater that we went to at the end when it was over, I don't know why. Everybody stood up and started clapping and cheering. They enjoyed the movie that much. I've never been in a theater where that fucking happened.
Are you sure they weren't clapping because it was over?
No, I'm pretty positive they enjoyed it so fucking much, which blew my
No.
mind. I yelled out loud. I was like, "What are you doing?" We all just
No.
watched the same movie. I know. I went out to use the bathroom for 10 seconds. Was there a scene that just blew everyone's fucking tits off? Did they start playing Oppenheimer and I missed it? What
No
happened?
fucking way, dude. Hang on.
It did, I promise you. I don't make these things up, man. I just have to read. I have to retell history like it happened.
I'm
Otherwise,
trying to
people
figure out
can skew it.
how it has a 63 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that too high or too low?
That's way too high.
Yeah.
That's way too high. And then the popcorn meter, I'm assuming that's the verified, like the fans and shit, right?
Yeah, that's the fan.
That's
Whatever
even
they
higher.
call it.
That's 76%. There's no fucking way.
How?
There's no fucking
Oh, you
way.
saw Chris Hemsworth naked. It doesn't make the whole fucking movie good. It doesn't represent or doesn't, fix all the trash. They couldn't just put it in black and white and fix everything.
I don't know. I don't know how the fuck that happened. But my point is, the last good movie we got out of the MCU, or Marvel, would have been, well, I guess Deadpool and Wolverine now. But
Yeah.
the one before that was, what would it be? Guardians 3?
I would have said Infinity War because I fucking hated Guardians 3.
I love Guardians 3. Guardians 3 was amazing.
Trash.
No, you need to watch it again, sir. It was very good.
I don't want to waste my time like that.
You're tripping, dude. You're tripping. Guardians 3 was
I
good.
know. I know. No one agrees with me.
That is fucking
But also,
wild.
Fan Four Stick is fantastic.
There was something after Guardians 3, wasn't there?
There were a lot of movies after it. No one gave a shit.
Like what?
Actually, I have no idea. I don't know what came after. I would say
the Marvels.
I almost said Rockets 1 because that's what it was.
The Marvels was another bad one. Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay, see? That's why I'm nervous. But who knows? I'm gonna hold out hope and hope that it's just good, because we need something good. We need something good, just like Deadpool and Wolverine was good. But anyway, I got one more movie that I need to mention that was so fucking god awful bad but I love it. I've watched it multiple times. You've watched it multiple times.
Have
And I know a lot of our fans and friends and family have watched it multiple times.
Oh, dude, don't
But
say.
the Pizzaverse.
That movie was so good, it was
It's
good. That movie
fucking
wasn't bad. What are you talking about?
amazingly bad. It's fucking horrible, and I know this,
It's
and
so good.
I'm allowed to say that because I fucking made it. All right, so if you haven't gotten a chance to go watch the Pizzaverse because it's just a dumb, stupid, idiotic, trifling, ratchet ass good time,
Yeah.
you need to go watch it, dude. You need to go watch it. Give us some love on Cosmic Pizza. Go check out the Pizzaverse. If you like so bad movies they're good, that'll do it for you. Trust me. The acting is superb. The budget was massive, big money, hot stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Soundtrack, fucking incredible. And guess what, guys? Guess what? The best part is you don't even have to pay for it. It's completely free on YouTube.
Yeah,
On
most
Cosmic Pizza's YouTube channel.
most movies on YouTube are free with ads. This one doesn't have
Not
ads.
even an ad in it. Not even a single ad.
We don't plug anything.
No.
Neither does YouTube.
It is a little
I,
mature, though, so make sure your littles are not watching. Unless you don't give a fuck, in which case, whatever, do what you're gonna do. But there is blood,
or
there's
just
gore, there's violence, there's guns, there's the cussing, there's dick
just skip the
jokes.
first 8 minutes and
Skip the
you
whole
might
thing;
be
it's all
okay.
pretty bad. But watch the whole movie. It is so good. You need to watch it. Give it a shot. I appreciate it. Peyton appreciates it. Toby
Yeah, we
appreciates
do.
it from the bottom of our hearts. We love it. Good
Did you
stuff.
like my Did you like my meme? Because I'm still trying to generate like memes for people to go and watch the
Yeah.
movies.
I've been trying to think of some more merch ideas.
Dude, they're really good. But yeah, I don't yeah, I think I posted on my story, so it's not
Yeah.
available anymore. But it was just the crew from Donnie Darko when they're in the theater sitting. And it just says me and the boys watching the Pizzaverse. We are mentally unwell.
Yeah. It's so good, dude. It's so good. Make sure you go check that out.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyway, I think that'll about do it.
Yes. Anybody still watching for God knows what reason, make sure you put down in the comments what your favorite bad movies are because 'tis the season to watch the goofiest movies that
Yep.
are still just the most fun experience if you don't care about I don't know why I'm talking anymore. Doesn't matter. Go watch
Oh,
all of our suggestions too.
I just realized that I'm wearing a shirt of like really bad, cheap, campy horror movies that they're actually short. They're short film collection of short films. Creep Show.
I thought Creepshow was good.
They're pretty bad, but
Oh,
they're in my opinion they're so bad they're good. Very campy, very cheesy, very 80s. But lots of practical effects. Same with like Tales from the Crypt. Very cheesy, very campy, very out there, very out there. But they're fun, and that's what matters. So go check those out if you get a chance. But anyway, enough of that. I just realized I was wearing a shirt that was relevant to the topic. But
me too.
Nike, go watch that movie too.
Capitalism. Go watch Field of Dreams.
I was gonna say Holes because of Shia LaBeouf. Always just do it. That whole thing, Nike, just do it.
Oh,
Oh, never mind.
insert other sports movie. Go watch Radio. All right, I'm out.
Yep.
See you all next week. Thank you for joining.
Check out the
Till
Instagram.
then, peace.
Peace.